Hi, I'm Micah Clark with American Family Association. Appreciate you joining us today for the video with the update on your Indiana General Assembly. This has been a very intense week at the Indiana legislature. Your legislature is winding down in the first process of committee hearings. If a bill doesn't make it through a committee hearing, it's dead. So there's all sorts of legislators, lobbyists scrambling to get things through committees right now. They will have a couple days of committees next week, Monday and Tuesday in the House, maybe Wednesday in the Senate, and then you're going to see some final votes, some final amendments on the floor for a couple days, and then they will switch over to where all live Senate bills will go to the House, all live House bills will go to the Senate. So if you've been watching a bill that has not gotten action and doesn't get action by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, it is dead. But I want to talk about two bills today, and I could talk to you about up to a dozen that we're watching, but two very important ones. They both need your help. The first one is House Bill 1407. This is a bill I've mentioned before. It concerns parental rights. Parents have the fundamental rights to direct the upbringing of their children when it comes to education, religious instruction, medical decisions. That is a principle that everybody should agree upon. But shockingly, as I've said so many times, common sense is not common. We should call it uncommon sense at the State House. But, and I'm going to name a name here. I don't usually do this, but there's a group called the Judicial Association or the Judges Association that is lobbying hard against this bill, which is moving through the process. It will be voted on next week. And it kind of boggles my mind that judges would stand up and get involved in the legislative process trying to rewrite a law, because the judge's job is not to write law. It's to interpret the law that the legislature has passed. We have a separation of powers. You have the legislative branch, you have the judicial branch. And so I'm a little shocked that judges are bringing up an issue, a concern with this bill. And frankly, we've been working with the Alliance Defending Freedom, one of the best known legal groups in the nation. Numerous states have passed parental rights laws very similar to this one. And we've never had the argument raised in any of those other states that are coming up today. So I think it's a frivolous argument. The judges are concerned about that one sentence. Parents have a fundamental right to direct the upbringing of their child. I don't know why this would put that at the state level. There's some federal level in favor of us, federal court rulings and things. But this would be a statement of policy for the state. It also would tell the Department of Children's Services, DCS, you can't remove a child from a home because the parents don't affirm their gender pronouns or their gender ideology. And that's happened with the Department of Child Services in a case we've discussed before in central Indiana, where DCS removed a child for that issue. Now they're saying they removed him for another issue, but the parents were treating that issue. He was making progress on that issue. So I think that's a diversion. And I think the attorney in that case, who testified at great length on this bill when I was there, did a good job of explaining why the Department of Child Services had overreached and why this bill is important for those two segments of the bill. So please call your state representative on House Bill 1407. That's House Bill 1407 at 317-232-9600. Ask your state representative to support House Bill 1407 to defend parental rights in Indiana. As we know, parents are under attack. So many people think the government knows best. We're not talking about protecting bad parents, protecting child abuse. The bill is very clear about that. We're about protecting the basic rights of parents that are under fire in our culture today. Now, the next bill is House Bill 1608. I haven't mentioned this one before, but it's getting a hearing Monday morning in the House Education Committee. Now, House Bill 1608 deals with sexual orientation, gender identity issues. It's only a two-page bill, but it basically says that schools in Indiana cannot teach kids under third grade, kindergarten, first and second grade, that they can teach the kids about gender fluidity, gender roles, gender stereotypes, gender identity, sexual orientation. The left is going bonkers over this. You know, I remember when the gay rights movement said, we just want to be left alone. We want our rights. We want to be able to be treated equal like all others. Well, they've got that, and that's fine. People are free to live as they choose. But when it involves a child, indoctrinating a child, confusing them at a young age when they're not even thinking about this issue, but planting ideas into their mind that are wrong, that cause problems, that lead them down a path with all sorts of social, mental health, and physical risks to it. I just don't think that should be done to young children. Frankly, I don't think it should happen to maybe even older children, but at least this bill says kindergarten through third grade, teachers have other things to deal with, other things to teach. Let's not introduce those things to children at that young age, of very small children. Kindergartners, why are we talking to kindergartners about homosexuality and sexual identity and gender identity? That is just not what the school's purpose is. I don't think parents want that. If parents want to talk to their children about that, they're free to do that, as they should be. But it's not the role of the school. Schools have so much on their plate, so many things they want to do and need to do. Our reading scores nationally on the NAEP test, about 60% of kids in Indiana are not scoring proficient in third grade reading and third grade math. I think the schools have a lot to do. This is not something they should be doing. So House Bill 1608, it's going to get a lot of attention in the media. The media is liberal. They're going to portray the side of kids as victims who are involved in these issues. But frankly, kids that young don't know the things that they're being presented with. And I think it's just wrong to put that into the children's mind and to teach them about that kind of sexual behavior at that young age. So House Bill 1608, you can call your legislator at 317-232-9600 as well. Both House Bill 1407 on parental rights, House Bill 1608 on protecting young children from dangerous ideologies and ideas in school regarding sexual identity and sexual orientation, things like that. The things that are coming at us in this culture. We didn't start this fight on the right. This is the left trying to indoctrinate children, something they used to say they wouldn't want to do. Clearly, they're trying to do this. They're trying to recruit kids, and that's just wrong. Teachers have better things to do than to teach about this. I don't know why teachers would want to get involved in this. It simply causes headache and conflict with parents, causes headache for school board members. Let's just protect children at this young age from things they're not prepared yet to deal with and to handle. So House Bill 1608 needs your support, as does House Bill 1407. I'm Micah Clark. Appreciate you joining us today. We'll be back next week to talk about what's happened as the bills switch over and we reach a critical, kind of a halfway point in your Indiana General Assembly. Again, thank you. Have a great weekend.